Hey guys, Meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this Thursday mountain weather update. My first stop is going to be Big Sky, Montana. It's clear this morning. You can see the moon up there on the Lone Peak tram cam. They're getting things ready for the day up there. I've got sunshine all day today up at Big Sky. Arctic front on the way though, overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Tomorrow you will have light to moderate snow accumulation trickling into early 118. That's with the Arctic front. I mean, it's not going to be a huge snow, and the temperatures are going to drop rapidly. Let me show you radar across the west right now. There is absolutely nothing. Some high pressure ridging for now. The Arctic front's going to come out of BC, Alberta, and drop straight down through Montana into Wyoming and into Colorado, northern New Mexico starting tomorrow, continuing into 118 and early 119. All right, different story out here. Great Lakes northeast. You've got another clipper coming. You can see the snow rolling over the lakes, and there is going to be some lake effect with this as well, and lake effect over the weekend and likely into next week as well at times. So that pattern rolls on, but you can see this will likely produce some light snow accumulation across the Northeast next couple of days. Let me set the stage. So here's water vapor satellite imagery. At the low levels, you've got oranges and reds. That's the dry air, and my goodness, look at all of this dry air. This is essentially a big ridge of high pressure out here. That is all dry air at this point. Okay, so everything else, let me switch colors. Everything else is going up and over the top and then down. So what's happening is if you get some energy up here, you've got a low here, you've got a low here, and that's actually the leading edge of the Arctic front. So all that is going to pull and drag, help to drag and open the door for that Arctic air, which will come slamming in tomorrow and roll right down on the periphery of this high, straight down into Colorado through Wyoming and into northern New Mexico. And then there's another wave behind that. There's another wave behind that. And that's the kind of pattern we're going to get into with these cold fronts that are all going to come out of Canada and roll down through the Intermountain. Okay, here are my bullet points. Now, I got to tell you, this Arctic front between 117 and 119 is trending weaker overall. It's trending weaker today, trending weaker tonight, and also trending weaker with the trailing cold front on 119, 120. So there are a couple of fronts, but they're all trending weaker. There's still a lot of cold air with these. I don't have anything for the Northeast or California. No major storm systems for any of those places. All right, here's my snow timeline. Best odds of snow for the Big Sky area, the Wasatch, Tetons, Colorado, Tahoe, interior BC, and the Northeast. So there's that snow, that light to moderate snow, 117, 118, and heavy on 122 potentially. Like I said, they're all lined up behind this. And then on the Wasatch, late 117, 118. That's light. I'll drill down on Alta here in a second. That's light though. 122 is also light. Tetons, come the afternoon, evening of 117, 18, that Arctic front rolls down through Wyoming, light accumulations. Light on 122. Colorado, similar timing there, but light to moderate accumulations. I'll show you where I'm thinking we're going to see moderate, maybe even slightly towards heavy. 122 looks like light to moderate. Nothing for Tahoe, and you can see the forecast there, interior BC, potentially moderate today as that Arctic front drops down through BC, and only light for the Northeast. All right, let's drill down on Alta, Utah. So this is the forecast mediagram, about 9,000 feet. It's dry today, and it's largely dry tomorrow. But look what happens tomorrow. The winds start to increase, gusts up to 50 miles an hour at 9,000 feet, preceding this Arctic front. Now, it does turn the wind out of the west-northwest. The snow production's mainly on the 18th. Late 117 into the 18th, and this does not produce much snow. I think now I'm forecasting maybe 2 or 3 inches. This has about an inch, and then maybe you get a little bit from that second front, but it's very light. So we're definitely on the lighter side. Now look what happens to the temperatures. Today at 9,029, 21 tomorrow. Temps fall all day on Saturday. 2.5 degrees for the high, 2 degrees, 3 degrees. And then by the end of the day, we're at -8. And by Sunday morning, -9. So we're headed well into the below zero category here across the Wasatch come late Saturday and pretty much all of Sunday. So it's going to be very cold up there, very cold skiing. Okay, let me show you, let's do a little comparison. Here's Colorado. Here's the time height forecast for snowmass. In the West Elks out there around Aspen, snowmass, Highlands, Buttermilk. So I'm looking for green. That's going to be your high relative humidities. It's very dry the next couple of days. Then the green, this is a 72-hour forecast. You read it from right to left. This is looking through all the vertical layers. You notice some green starts to increase there as we roll into the 1819 time frame. There's a little bit there, right, for snowmass, but look at Eldora. So snowmass is western slope. Look at Eldora across the Front Range. More green. You see the difference? It's a much higher, and I'll go back. Here's snowmass. Here's Eldora. More green at more levels of the atmosphere, more vertical levels. So that's going to help to saturate the air and help with some snow production. So I expect more accumulation across the Front Range, high peaks, the Continental Divide, tilting down to the east through Eldora, Winter Park, Loveland, A Basin, up to Cameron Pass. Those areas should see more snow accumulation than areas to the west. In fact, here's the snow forecast for Eldora. And this cranks out about 8 inches. You account for the next front as well, and you're probably at 10, 9 to 10 inches. So that's what's on the way. Let's look at snow accumulation over time. So here is the forecast, and when you see the light blues on this, and I'm going to start at lunchtime today, the light blues is under 3 inches, so that's light accumulation. Once you pop into the greens, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, and then anything in the yellows is 6 plus. So, all right, here we go. Here's this afternoon. Here's late today on the 16th. Notice that snow sliding through the Great Lakes and then rolling through a lot of the Midwest and then up into the Northeast. There it goes. Here comes our Arctic front. So this is early Friday morning. You can see it coming down out of BC and Alberta, and that's why I was forecasting. I'm forecasting, and I'll show you that, about 4, 5, 6 inches of snow up at Revelstoke and also over to Marmot Basin. About 3 at Kicking Horse. All that's going to drop down into Montana. You can see the blue. Here we are by lunchtime. On Friday, it's down into Wyoming, brushing, just barely brushing Idaho. A lot of it stays east of that. And then here we go by late Friday. Now you've got snow brushing, very late Friday, brushing the Wasatch, the high one is very light. And then also dropping down into the central and northern mountains of Colorado and across Denver. Denver's going to get snow accumulation. The entire Front Range is going to get a snow accumulation out of this. The foothills will get several inches with very cold air and high snow ratios. A lot of efficiency with this, but I talked about this yesterday. In some places, it might be too cold to really accumulate big numbers because the snow crystals change to a very small crystal and you get just like pixie dust snow. So that's hard to accumulate. You just kind of sneeze and you can blow it away. All right, here we are by, okay, let's go early Saturday morning, the 18th. Look at some of the greens popping up across the Front Range high peaks, the foothills, the Front Range, the eastern side of the Continental Divide of Colorado. You're looking at 3, 4, 5, 6 in some of those areas. Still some light accums over the top of the Wasatch and parts of Wyoming. It's also dropping down into northern New Mexico. All right, look at the next storm hitting the northeast as well. Here we are by lunch into the afternoon on Saturday. Next one, along with some lake effect, starts to kick in. So Saturday, this weekend, lake effect is coming back. Here we are by late Saturday. Snow's dropping down into southern Colorado, northern New Mexico. Okay, here we are by early on Sunday, the 19th. And now I want to show you this little trailing front. Here's late Sunday. Here's early Monday. Yesterday, this looked a little more impressive. Today, it's very light. So this is that second trailing front coming down through Montana, Wyoming, and into Colorado. We might be able to accumulate maybe a 1 to 3 inch type of accumulation with this. So there's lunch on Monday. Here's late Monday. Look at the lake effect up there off Ontario, pretty much all the Great Lakes through Sunday and Monday. So that's going to be a factor. And then by early Tuesday, still seeing lake effect across a lot of the Great Lakes. Here's late on Tuesday, still looking at lake effect. So you get the idea. And then the next front, you can see it dropping down into Montana out of parts of BC and Alberta, and that's by early Wednesday. Okay, let me show you my official numbers here. So all of today through the 20th, we'll start in the Wasatch. Again, this is really light and a glancing blow, maybe 1, 2, 3 inches of accumulation. Generally the same now up in the Tetons. I dropped all these numbers. When I said they're all trending down, and I truly meant that, I dropped all these numbers. 1, 2, 3 inches across the Tetons. Most of it goes east of you. I'm looking at probably 4 inches up there at Big Sky, Bridger Bowl, maybe 6, 5 or 6 up there at Red Lodge, and light 0 to 1s through Idaho and northwest Montana. There's your 2, 3, 4, 5 inches up there through Kicking Horse, Revelstoke, and Marmot Basin. Everybody else is very light. And I'm still zeroed out through Oregon and the Sierra. Now, in Colorado, most of the accumulations up along the Front Range high peaks now tilting down to the east. So 5, 6, 7 inches up there through Breckenridge and Summit County, Copper Mountain, Vale, up into A Basin, Loveland, Winter Park, Cameron Pass, Longs Peak. Eldora gets about 10, 8 up at Steamboat. Now, as the front drops south, you're going to see snow accumulation over Monarch, down at the Cuchara. I've taken the numbers over Wolf Creek way down. But snow accumulation, these numbers are way down over Taos, Angel Fire, and Ski Santa Fe. Things just, the duration shorter. And I'm really wondering how much we're going to accumulate with these very cold temperatures. It's tough once they get this cold. All right, here's the Northeast all of today through 120. Very light numbers, just a couple of different chances for light snow accumulation. And again, maybe 1, 2, 3 inches through Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. A little bit more around Snow Ridge. And once we get later beyond this period, the lake effect's going to continue, like I was showing you. So the numbers from Lake Ontario to Lake Erie in those downwind areas, we're going to see some pretty hefty accumulations. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in here. We'll end on the western map here. Again, all of today through 120. I'd say if you're skiing this weekend, definitely target Colorado, the central and northern mountains of Colorado, especially as you go sort of like Vail east. I think that's where we're going to see some of the best snow accumulation. You'll still have some, like I said, but it's going to be light through the Wasatch and the Tetons. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in and have a great day.